everybody. It's Abby from Craft Industry Alliance. Hope you're having a fabulous day today. So today we are going to be doing an Instagram Live with Amelia from Fox Chapel Publishing. And Fox Chapel is a member of Craft Industry Alliance, which is amazing. And they've been involved in a bunch of fun things we've done recently, including being a sponsor of our upcoming Golden Sister them about Fox Chapel and learn from Amelia a little bit more about what Fox Chapel does, what kind of books Fox Chapel creates, etc. So, hey Amelia,
Hi,
how are
I'm
you?
well. How are you, Abby?
Nice to see you
You
again.
too.
Yeah, you were part of we did this sort of inaugural new product showcase, and so you were part of that. And you're going to be part of our upcoming Golden Scissors Award sponsorship too. So, very excited to have you here.
We are. It's such a great opportunity for us to be part of Golden Scissors. I know Fox is really excited about
Oh, wonderful.
just getting welcomed into the fold with the Craft Alliance, and I'm looking
Absolutely.
forward to it.
Okay, well, we're very excited to have you. So I would love it if maybe you could start by telling us a little bit about Fox Chapel Publishing, what kind of books you make, a little bit maybe about the background of the company. So maybe people who don't pay super amounts of attention to who publishes all the books that they really enjoy in the craft industry can learn more.
Sure. Fox has been around for 33 years. It was founded by the same man who's still Alan, who still owns the company. So it's a privately owned business. We have about 50 employees. It started out as a woodcraft publishing. We do everything now. Well, not everything, but we have several imprints. Obviously, Landauer is our soft craft, which is our quilt, our yarn. I'm trying to think of we do some coloring under Landauer, but generally that's under Fox Chapel, which is also wood. We have cookbooks. We have children. We have a new children's imprint, Happy Fox, which is activity and coloring and some picture books. So we kind of run the gamut, which makes my job really interesting because my role is to acquire all the titles at Fox Chapel Publishing. So I don't just do soft craft, although that is my first love, as you can tell by my my office slash sewing room. I do coloring and woodcraft and cooking books as well. So I kind of have my fingers in a lot of different pies. As far as your audience, which is mostly soft craft and also jewelry making, I have a resin book that I did. So it's not just soft craft, but it's other aspects. That is, we work with a multitude of offers in this country, in foreign countries, and everything comes through me.
That's
If someone has an
amazing.
idea, it comes to me. We develop a proposal, we put it in front of our team, and it just kind of steps up from there. But
Okay, so craft publishing has changed a lot. I mean, I wrote a few craft books myself. The first one came out in 2011, so it's been a while,
Mhm.
and I'm kind of curious to know, since you are an acquisitions editor, and you have kind of a rarefied seat of understanding what's working in craft publishing, book publishing today, maybe what things aren't working
Mhm.
that used to work. So maybe give us some like insider insights of like if somebody has a craft book idea right now, like what is their best bet? Like what is really actually working? Because I love craft books, but
Mhm.
they're changing.
They are. And the internet really changed the way we go after authors, some in a good way, some in a bad way. If you there's if you can find an author who is amazing on social media, has the just skill set that is unequaled, loves to promote herself, has all those boxes checked, it's fabulous. That's not always people are people aren't always able to do that. It takes time to do all of those things. So you really have to figure out, first of all, first and foremost, is this person uh, capable? Are they just on social media throwing out their projects and they don't really know the ins and outs of the craft? Then you can run into a book that gets out there and people are like, wait a minute, that's not exactly how this craft is done. Things have been published, books have been published both in quilting and in amigurumi, across all publishing companies, where this person has this great social media following but really is not an authority in the field. So first of all, you've got to have a strong skill set. We used to be with the company I used to work for, you'd send in your projects and the publishing company would write the directions. Publishing companies don't have that capability. They don't have, it's just too expensive to hire people on staff to actually do the book work. So you've got to be able to write the instructions, do the illustrations, in many cases take the photography. So you have to have a lot of skill sets in order to put a book together. We work with you, obviously. We do some photography. We have tech editors, but it's not just giving us a manuscript and then going with it. You have to have all aspects of that project when you're putting it together. As far as subject matters, I'm trying to move this along quickly. We follow, like everyone else does, social media trends. Quilt books may be having a day, or yarn books may be having a day, or sometimes the design books are great. Other times people want one we have coming up. I think I printed out 500 sewing techniques, tips, tricks, and hacks.
Oh,
Now,
nice.
books have been around like that earlier in the 2000s, late 1900s, and then they kind of went away. Now they're coming back. People want tips, tricks, and
Yeah.
books. Other times you'll have a book that is, this is interesting. This is a bilingual Learn to Quilt book. First one out there. So we're seeing
And
a
is
lot
it
of
in Spanish?
Yes, it is all of it in the same book. It's not just translated from English to Spanish. Both English, both Spanish will be in the book,
That is
because
going to be a great resource,
exactly
especially for schools,
mm-hmm.
and also even adult, like training schools. That's
Yes,
awesome.
and that is driven by the fact that we have a lot of Spanish-speaking people in this country now, and dual-speaking people, and an author that has seen her students wanting that product. So that will be out in fall 25. We're super
That's
excited about
awesome.
it. It's getting a lot of play. So really, what's happening in society on Instagram. Another one book, I think I don't, these books aren't out yet, so I just kind of printed out the covers.
That's cool, though. We get a sneak peek. I think
Yeah,
that's even better.
oh golly, it was here a minute ago. Okay, Suki and Ivy. This is one instance
Oh,
where
yes.
Suki and Ivy were an internet
Yes, I've seen
sensation.
it. Yep.
And she does have the skill set to make the
Hmm.
patterns. She was making them, she was selling them on a small scale. She wanted to do a book. So she has both the skill set and the photography capabilities and the crochet abilities to put together a really good product. So,
Yeah. And so in a situation like that, where this is a person who's already gone viral,
mhm.
has a massive following, already has the skills both in writing patterns, designing, photography, etc. What is the argument to say to that person, besides their inherent desire, that it's worth your while to write a book? Because writing a craft book, I mean, it ends up being about 9 months to
it,
a
it,
year's worth of work.
at least, yeah.
And it can be difficult to create projects in that time that are just direct to consumer for your audience and kind of increase your own income or even maintain it because you're so busy working on the projects for the book. So I feel like there's got to be a compelling reason for
Mhm.
somebody like that who's already got so much following to say, yes, I am going to sort of step back a little bit and work on this giant book project.
That's an interesting question. For people who are trying to build their audience, I always say it's a glorified business card. You are not going to make, you're not going to be, unlikely, you're going to be Martha Stewart. But it's this wonderful product that shows your capability. You can give it to, if you want to get into the fabric design business, if you want to introduce yourself to other companies that you might be able to work with, a book is really great to have. So for that audience, yes, it takes a lot of time and work and effort, but it also gives you some moxie in the field. For someone who's already done that, I will use Jani, who's the author of the Suki and Ivy book. She's just, there's that need sometimes for people who just always have wanted to write a book. I've always wanted to write a book. And when you get that in your hands, I actually have a book that I did myself, which I had here, but it's a patchwork t-shirt quilt book. You get that book, it's like having a baby. Like I worked on this for 9 months. This will always be here. This is my book. I created this. This is my vision, and it's a solid product that will always be there. There's something about books that are very special and give people a sense of authority. And it's not a necessity, but it's just, wow, I'm an author. I'm a
Yeah.
published author.
It's a really
And
nice thing. And I
mhm,
was saying, so my second book, which I'm very proud of, that came out in 2013, it's still in the library. And whenever I go to a library and I find it, I always take a picture and text it to my
yeah,
family
it's my book in the
because,
wild. Yeah.
right, it's like it's in Barnes and Noble or whatever, and you see it out and it makes you feel, I don't know,
Yeah.
really proud. So I
It's
agree.
something
It
you've
is,
created. I was in
yeah.
Florida with my son last week, and I was in a sewing store down there in Winter Park, and I looked on the rack, and there was my book, and I was
And
like,
you're
"Oh,
like,
yeah,
oh.
that's so cool! My book's there."
Yeah,
And I,
it is
again,
very cool. But
yeah,
it is a sacrifice. And
it
so I
is.
think that's something for people to keep in mind when they undertake it, that it is a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I also think it's really worthwhile to do your due diligence when it comes to partnering with a publisher, because sometimes as an author, a publisher might contact you out of the blue and
Uh-huh.
say, "Oh my gosh, we love your work. Would you like to write a book?" And you feel so flattered, like, wow, like they saw what I was doing and picked me. But I always say to authors, if one publisher is interested, other
That's
publishers would be interested.
absolutely
So
true. Yeah.
you need to really think about which publisher is going to be the right fit
Mm-hmm.
for you and which publisher is really going to work with you as the kind of partnership you want, because it truly is a partnership. You're the talent, they bring a whole lot of things like creating the book, printing the book, distributing. I mean, it's a lot. It's a big
Mm-hmm.
financial investment
Mm-hmm.
from the publishing house. So it is really a two-way street, and they need you and you need them. So
Oh,
um,
100%.
so when it comes to partnering with Fox Chapel, what are some of the things that you feel like are strengths that an author, a potential author who's like, I'm looking around, looking at the spines of all my books, trying to figure
Mm-hmm.
out who
Who should I
publishes
go with?
what and where I belong, would sort of be attracted by?
Well, I personally love my authors. The weird thing about being an acquiring editor is you have to represent your company, but I also feel very strongly that I need to represent my authors. I know what they put into a book. I know that when they're running late, I'm the person that needs to say to my publisher, my editorial director, things have happened in their life. We need to give them a couple weeks. I stay really close in contact with my authors. I'm the only acquisitions editor. I'm the only one for Softcraft and the only one currently at Fox. So I deal with a lot of authors and they're very important to me. So that is step one. I'm always in communication. I always answer my emails. I fight for my authors sometimes. If they don't like something, if we have a compelling reason why they don't want that on the cover or why they want to start with this project, I fight for my authors because I can understand that this is their creative baby and they want to have a say. That being said, they have to understand that, like you said, we are putting a big investment into publishing, the time it takes to edit, the time it takes to do photography, and there's a give and take there that they have to understand that we've been in this industry a really long time and we know what sells and what doesn't. And we take our books, our sales team takes concepts even from the pubboard letter to our clients, the companies we sell to, and says, would this book sell for you? Do you think this would be a good book that for you? Would you be interested in this? Before we actually sign the contract in a lot of cases, because we don't want them to go through all this time and then not sell. So we're very connected with our sales team. Finally, I think our marketing is really important. We do have a solely dedicated team to online marketing, to outside marketing, to signings. So they work directly with the author as well. Case in point, we have a young 15-year-old author that's going to be on a TV show, Lorelai, and she needs a cover early to share her book on this TV show. So our marketing team is making sure we get the photography, we get that cover done early so that she can start promoting that book on a TV show, even though the book isn't going to be out for a little while. So we have that designated marketing team to make sure those things are happening to get the word out for their book.
And I
So,
remember her at, was that Quilt Market or
oh,
at H&H with the
oh,
dress?
probably.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was amazing.
she's
So
something
that's
else.
really cool. Another really
Mm-hmm.
cool book to look out for in the future. And I
Mm-hmm.
also think you raised a great point, which is that a lot of us work alone,
Mm-hmm.
maybe with a friend, but most of us work, designers might be working alone. And, you try to market your patterns and your work out in the world. When you collaborate with a publishing house, one of the things that you get is their marketing insights on your work. So you're getting this objective outside team where you have all this data and information and a fresh set of eyes that's looking at the designer's work
Mm-hmm.
in a new way and can
Exactly.
say, okay, if you actually, bundled these two together, edited this a little bit, thought about it this other way, we photograph it in this particular way, style it in this particular way, this is the kind of thing that will make these sell better. And that information, sometimes it's a little bit hard to hear because it's not maybe how you
You
would have done
envisioned
it.
it, sure.
But once you can get past that and be like, this team is taking what I have and marketing it for me and take that information in, it can actually really help you to understand how the public would perceive your work better.
Exactly.
So that's a really great, as I said, it's a collaboration. And now you have this team on your side who's like helping you with that. So I think that's another sort of easily overlooked benefit of taking on a book project, besides having the physical book, but you also get that feedback. And I'm not really sure you could get it any other way and quite that way.
No, because we see a lot. We see many, many different quilt authors, quilt designers, yarn designers. We see a lot of different books, whether we choose to publish them or not. So we know what's out there. We know what other books have done well. We have access to books that have sold extraordinarily well. And what is it about that book that sold well, that we can kind of look at, and do you want to do something similar, or do you want to do something completely different to make it unique to you? So there's a lot that goes into selecting a book to publish, and then moving to the next stage to organizing it in the way that we think the readers would react to best.
That's great. So you're going to be at H&H
I
Americas.
am.
And so potential authors, designers, folks like that who are thinking about this process, maybe for a second book, a third
Mm-hmm.
book, or their first book, can come by your booth and have a chat. So that's one really great opportunity. Going to the trade show is a great way to get FaceTime in front of people like Amelia, who are acquisitions editors, show them some things about what you make, and sort of just open the door to that relationship beginning. Even if a book project isn't next week, it's maybe next year or a few years out, you have that FaceTime with that person, and it's incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
So that's one opportunity, just to throw that out there.
No, please. I welcome people that just come up and say, hey, I have an idea. Can I run it by you?
Okay,
Absolutely. I find a
that's your
lot of authors
invitation.
that way. Yeah, I'm at
Yes,
the
come
booth.
and do
Say
that.
hi. Yeah.
Absolutely. So that's awesome, and just such a great opportunity. And it's great to hear from an acquisitions editor that is
Mm-hmm.
welcome. So okay, so that's one thing. The second thing is you're going to be a sponsor for the Golden Scissors Awards, and I just wanted to highlight that a little bit because the Golden Scissors Awards, if you don't know what they are, this is our second year doing this, and it's an opportunity to recognize excellence in the crafts industry, which I just think is such an honor, and it's so beautiful to be able to do this. We have an independent panel of 7 judges this year. They were selected by our board, and they went through every single application in 2 rounds of judging. It's a pretty intense
Mm-hmm.
process, and the winners will be announced live on stage at H&H Americas right before the show opens. So that's Wednesday, May 7th at 8:30 a.m. Make
Mm-hmm.
sure you're up and out and join us for that. And we're just so pleased that you're able to sponsor this, because the sponsorships that we get show, number one, support for this recognition,
Mm-hmm.
because people in this industry deserve to be recognized for the incredible work that they're doing.
Oh,
And number
absolutely.
two, it allows them to come to the show. So we are able, through these sponsorships, to offer travel stipends to our winners who may not otherwise be able to attend the show to accept their awards in person. And that is just, I mean, I was in tears last year. It's
Yeah,
just so lovely.
it really is. And I mean, it was the first time I didn't realize that was the first Golden Scissors. So I got to see that. And it's just, the creative community is second to none. It just is. We're a very supportive community. And to see the crowds of people and, everyone just, melting their soul over these women who pour everything they have into their creativity it's really a great feeling.
It is. It's great. So make sure you come to that and thank our sponsors for helping to make this happen because it is important. And we're just excited for the future of this program too, that as more and more people learn about it and apply, and we have a larger and larger pool of incredible people, it just becomes more and more meaningful as the years go by. So we're very grateful to
Yeah,
Fox
of course.
Chapel for being a sponsor this
Well,
year.
we're
Thank
glad
you.
that you gave us the opportunity. And I got to correct one thing. I said women. There are many creative men in our community
Yes,
as
and
well.
a man
Not as
won,
many,
won
but
last
yeah, I
year
don't want to
actually
leave
for
them out.
lifetime
Yeah,
achievement.
yeah,
So
yeah.
yes, and I'm not going to reveal anything about this year's
Hmm.
winners, but you'll have to wait and
Yes.
see. But it will be awesome, and we'll send out a press release too. For the, I know not everybody can come to the show, but a press release will go out that same day, so everybody will get that information, and we'll post about it on social media, etc. too. So
Great.
yeah. Wonderful. Well, Amelia, this was great.
Yes.
I love talking to you. I can't wait to see you again at the show.
Me
Thanks for
too.
giving us a little, inside insight
Mhm.
into how things work at a publishing house.
And yeah,
And yeah.
we do have a site, an email on our website, foxchapelpublishing.com. All of those proposals, ideas go to a main site, and I'm also CC'd on that. So
Okay.
I'm not opposed to people emailing me and saying, I have a proposal for a book. We get a lot of stuff that is
Yeah.
unsolicited. We're not saying, oh no, I didn't find this, so we're not going to be interested in it. I
Not
have a
at
lot
all.
of authors.
All of my
I
books I pitched.
I'm
Yes. Pitch your
working
book.
with someone who reached out after our last, after the product
That after our new
showcase.
product showcase. So
Yes,
now you're
yes.
working with
We're
them.
already working with her because she just
Oh,
said,
see,
you know
that's
what?
so
You
awesome.
mentioned that I could reach out, so I'm reaching out. What do you think? And
Okay.
she's phenomenal. So, take that leap.
Do
I mean,
it.
yeah, you may not be
Yes.
ready now, but like you said, maybe 2, 3 years down the road, maybe you will be. So you got to take that leap.
That's right. Okay, this has been
Okay.
great. I love talking to you. Thanks to everybody who came today. We will see you actually not next week because I'll be on vacation, but it will be the week after. And I hope you all take care. Thanks, Amelia. Have a great rest of your
Bye.
day.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.